Meat tards. What's up, guys? Shh. Jessica says shh. Everybody shh. All right. Here we go, guys. Another stream. Another Eat Me Make Family stream. The big money oligarchs are freaking pissed off at these real food diets. All you pesky little bastards demanding artisan food, demanding organic food, trying to live off of your own land. You little plebes need to knock it off. You're causing too much trouble. You're causing way too much ruckus. These people are pissed off about it. All right. We've got Big Ag versus Artisan Foods. We've got Rockefeller Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Carnegie Endowment. All these big moneyed interests. The oligarchs, the oligarchs, are not very happy with the rising popularity of real frickin' foods. And it's beautiful. We love it. We love to see the pushback. There's a battle of brewing. And the media is full tilt pushing against meat. For the last couple weeks, we've been seeing lots of calls for taxing meat. Lots of calls for reducing your meat consumption because it's not green. It's bad for the planet, right? Because these big money oligarchs really care about saving the world. They want to save the world by consolidating all the food supply, by controlling what you eat, what you see, what you hear, what you're allowed to say, who you're allowed to criticize, the words you're allowed to use. These people are pissed off, and rightly so. They've worked damn hard at consolidating all this power over the last couple centuries. They've worked damn hard at it. And you pesky little carnivores and ketophiles, you little pesky meat tards out there are ruining it. Right? You guys are spreading this movement of people demanding good food. What's your problem? We got to stop this. So check it out. We've got the totally credible CNN telling us why investors aren't gobbling up food stocks. And this is awesome. Check this out, guys. This is beautiful.
Packaged food companies these days. Campbell's share price has been sliced nearly in half over the last 2.5 years. Kraft Heinz missed third quarter earnings estimates. So did Kellogg, which also cut its full year profit forecast. Shares plunged, posting their biggest drop in 18 years. Ooh. So what's going on? Consumer tastes are changing, and many people are looking for healthier options instead of processed foods. That's hurt sales for big packaged food companies. But that's not their
I got it at 1.25 speed, so hopefully you don't get demonetized.
only problem. Grocery giants like Walmart, Amazon, and Kroger have focused on keeping prices low. That's great for you and me, but it's terrible for makers of supermarkets.
So yeah, I mean, Walmart, Amazon, Kroger, these are obviously still a huge issue. The fact that most of us are still living in areas where that's the most viable source of food is these shitty supermarkets that are totally consolidated. I mean, all through California, you've got a few grocery store chains that are essentially owned by the same parent companies, same thing nationwide in the U.S. And that is an issue, right? Amazon buying Whole Foods. Right? Amazon, who has a $500 million government contract to do cloud hosting for the Central Intelligence Agency. So the totally neutral Central Intelligence Agency, just legit organization that wants what's best for everybody, right? We all know CIA wants what's best for humanity. Hooking up $500 million last year to Amazon to do their cloud hosting. So these big corporations are obviously still an issue. But what CNN is not talking about, well, first of all, they talked about people demanding they want real food. That's what people are buying now. And that's what's becoming popular. People are going to these stores and they're asking for foods like liver. Right? When we first started putting out information, nobody was eating liver. Like 4 years ago when we started this YouTube channel, nobody was freaking eating liver. They thought it was disgusting. And now with the kind of carnivorous eating becoming so popular, we're seeing people demand these foods. We're seeing people demand high quality foods. Right? They're going in there, they're asking for bones. They're asking for meaty bones. When we first started putting out content 4 years ago, I remember we made a video about how to make bone broth. And it didn't get very many views at first, but it's funny, like looking at like the most popular videos we've got, this 4-year-old video of how to make bone broth. This like 20-minute vlog from 4 years ago, before people were even vlogging. That's one of our most popular videos. When we first started out, it was really easy for people to get bones dirt cheap. Now the price of bones is going up. People have trouble getting bones. Areas like San Francisco, even the yuppies are catching on. You know, the Silicon Valley crowd is catching on. So this is awesome, guys. This is awesome. We've got a huge wave of popularity of these real food diets. And people are pissed. People are really pissed. Check it out. We got Carnivore from November 2017. Ooh, trending up. Massive rise in popularity for this very niche diet that most people probably aren't going to want to do. Right? But it just goes to show, I mean, people are doing a carnivore diet. They're not buying processed food. These people aren't buying supplements. These people aren't buying your shit foods, Monsanto. Yes, a lot of people are still buying grocery store food, and the feedlot animals are finished on grain, right? The whole factory farming system, as we've documented on this show many times, the whole factory farming system. Where's that book? Where's that book at? There's a good book. The whole factory farming system was ushered in with the Green Revolution, which was essentially a revolutionary movement to consolidate the food supply on behalf of these big foundations and NGOs. So what we're seeing now, it gets so distracting when I read comments. I got to not read the comments while I'm talking, or I get too distracted. So this is a great book right here about the history of the rise of the Gene Revolution and the Green Revolution, called Seeds of Destruction by F. William Engdahl. Very, very well documented, this book. He does a great job at documenting the history of collusion between NGOs, governments, the FDA, USDA, the State Department, and shady mofos like Henry Kissinger, who we see on the front here, on the cover image, rather. He says, "It is not a matter of what is true that counts, but a matter of what is perceived to be true." Which brings me to, and I read a comment, and it brings me to something that actually got me started on thinking about this a couple hours ago when I was going through emails. And this is Goji Man, who built his entire channel. Goji Man built his entire channel. Goji Man, if you guys don't know, he's a vegan YouTuber. He likes to make just fallacious videos with like responding to vile carnivore comments from Carnivore and Primal Edge Health, where he accuses me of making vile comments about him. Even though I had emailed him a week before inviting him to come on my stream and come talk like a human being, he decided, instead of responding to my email, to make a oh, poor me, I'm a victim response video. So Goji Man, who built his whole following making videos about carnivore diet, right? If you look at all his most popular videos, all right, look, 11,000 views 2 days ago. It's finally happening. RIP carnivore diet. Right? It's not a matter of what is true that counts, but a matter of what is perceived to be true. Now we're going to go over this video. We'll go over what Goji Man claims in this video and how this relates to Henry Kissinger's, the alleged quote from Kissinger there. I actually couldn't find the actual source of that quote, but it is a great source, and it's been attributed to mass murderer and actually grandfather, or more like creepy molester uncle of the Green Revolution and Gene Revolution, Henry Kissinger, who helped usher in through the State Department in the 70s policies of international big business on behalf of the Rockefeller Foundation, pushing these seeds like the golden rice on India and on these developing countries, right? He actually penned the National Security State Memorandum 200, talking about how important it is that we depopulate the planet, and that depopulation is a very, very important thing. The rise of the population of the third world is putting these people's control over the resources internationally in threat. So Henry Kissinger said, "It is not a matter of what is true that counts, but a matter of what is perceived to be true." And I think Goji Man agrees, and that's why he made his video, RIP Carnivore Diet, his most popular video in a long time. His other most recent popular video, another vegan YouTuber who's gone from a vegan diet and who's now experimenting with carnivorous diet, Tim Sheaf, 17,000 views a week ago. Another video, vegan keto, is it a safe diet? No, vegan keto, not a safe diet. What are you going to eat, almonds all day? His most popular videos, all response videos, pictures of vegetable police, Michaela Peterson, right? So he puts out this video basically saying, as vegans, we need to stop talking about the carnivore diet. We need to stop mentioning the carnivore diet. It is out of control. These people are gloating about how many people they're sending. We as vegans are sending their way. He said, "Oh, Primal Edge Health." Actually, well, let's watch a few clips from Goji's video here. Goji, man, like I said, you said you'd come on the stream. You usually jump in every single time. I know you have the Google alerts, right? You jump in every single time I do a stream. You watch what we're doing, right? Now, Goji Man is swearing it off. He's swearing off his addiction to my content. He's swearing off his addiction to making carnivore response videos. We'll see what happens to his views as he puts out positive vegan content, because we all know that the whole vegan movement has been built on YouTube, at least, right? This whole vegan movement on YouTube has been built around just shitting on people, right? You know who the godfather of all you vegan YouTubers is? Fucking Durian Rider, right? That's who actually brought Vegan Gains under his wing and raised him up and trained him, and then Vegan Gains betrayed him in a terrible manner. But Durian Rider, he's the godfather of this vegan YouTuber movement. Making videos about 30 bananas a day, shit like that back in the day. You guys all remember Durian Rider. Beautiful train wreck to watch. This whole vegan YouTube thing has been built around just attacking people for not seeing things your way. And then when you people get pushback, of course you freak out. You play the victim, right? Oh, you mean carnivores are saying that we're wrong? You guys are questioning us? Let's play the victim. But we talked about this before. Anyways, let's hear what Goji Man's got to say about RIP
carnivore diet is here to stay, or another fad diet that will disappear in 6 months. Great question. Let's get to it.
Here's a tip: if you do 1.25 speed on his videos, it almost sounds like normal human cadence.
Qualifying as a nutritionist, and next year I'll be studying for a PhD in nutritional science. I make vegan health and nutrition videos every single day.
Isn't that an oxymoron? Vegan health and nutrition? I think he's being funny there.
I'm snowed with assignments in which I answer your health questions under the hashtag AskGojiman. So if you have a question for me, then hashtag AskGojiman in the comments below, or alternatively send your video questions through to contact@gojimannutrition.com. So first things first.
Where'd the sad music go? I like the sad music. I am being attacked by evil people who eat meat. Feel bad for me. I miss that music.
Now really excited to announce 5 years. As you can see, very stagnant for 4 of the 5 years, followed by a couple of peaks following.
So he looks at the Google Trends.
So head over there, have a look through my store, and let me know what you think. So this is what the search volume within Google is for the carnivore diet.
Okay, the carnivore diet didn't even exist. Nobody had named it 5 years ago. People were talking about zero carb. You know, I talked to Andrew Scarborough like 3 or 4 years ago. He talked about his zero carb ketogenic diet. It was basically under the umbrella of keto. And it was this small little portion of the ketogenic crowd that were talking about carnivorous diets where the people were removing a majority of plants from the diet. Andrew Scarborough was kind of the first person I talked to about this. And, of course, we'd heard about the Bear, Owsley Stanley, the acid guru from the 60s, Mr. Grateful Dead, Sound Man, Owsley. He was doing a carnivore diet for a long time. There were some zero carb forums, but it was it was a small niche. Then a few people came out. For whatever reason, it just skyrocketed, right? We had like Sean Baker came out and he talked about, I'm a doctor, right? If somebody's a doctor, they automatically have credibility. A doctor said that he just eats meat. So Sean Baker got into it. He started talking about this. More people were getting into a ketogenic diet, and that kind of skyrocketed the popularity of so-called carnivore diet, which was basically named like a year ago. No one was even talking about it. So Goji Man's looking at this chart here, and you can see it pops up way high. 2018, huge spike.
As you can see, very stagnant for 4 of the 5 years, followed by a couple of peaks following Sean Baker and Jordan and Michaela Peterson's appearances on the Joe Rogan podcast. In contrast, this is the growth that veganism has seen over the last 5 years, year-on-year growth. But the interesting thing with the carnivore diet is what's been happening in the last 90 days within Google. Basically, a marked steady decline in people actually searching for them.
A slight decline in Google search results for carnivore diet. RIP carnivore diet.
Diet. So one of the most interesting elements in looking at these trends is the symmetrical relationship between the growth of veganism and until recently the growth of the carnivore diet. And what I mean by symmetrical is that the carnivore diet has been tracking the vegan trends. So as veganism would grow in popularity, so would the carnivore diet. Now this
So he zooms in on the 90 days and he's like, look, I found a trend. Anybody who's analyzed statistics and you look at these curves, you can zoom in on any portion of this and make it seem like there's a huge downtrend, right? I can go to the vegan YouTube, right? Like I can look at veganism. Oh, look at that. From 2017 to 2018, vegan diet is clearly crashing. Whereas compared to carnivore diet, oh my goodness, clearly rising. This doesn't tell us like the actual strength of any movement. This is just some Google search results. These trends are constantly moving around the language flow on the internet concerning these movements and different diets and whatever you're looking at in Google Trends are going to be fluctuating throughout the years. Now you zoom in on a 90-day trend of the vegan diet. Let's see. The past 12 months, massive decline. 90 days. That's a stronger decline. That's a stronger downward trend than what Goji's even talking about here.
Obvious reason for it. So as we all know, the carnivore diet has grown essentially off of a few ex-vegans. So people like vegetable...
So the carnivore diet has grown off of a few ex-vegans, he said, which is totally not true. The carnivore diet is a sanctuary for all future ex-vegans. All right. So when you become so nutrient depleted, when your gut gets so destroyed by eating all the broccoli, all of the kale, none of the protein, none of the fat-soluble vitamins, when you're eating the tofu, the soy, when the soy is oozing from your pores, and you feel like shit, we're here to help. All right, so a ketogenic diet, a low-carbohydrate approach, where you're decreasing the amount of grains, you're decreasing these toxic foods that so many people are eating, that's soaked in glyphosate grains, like even grains that are not GMO, like lentils, chickpeas, stuff like that. Glyphosate is used as a desiccant, even on chia seeds. You know, a lot of people on a keto diet use chia seeds. There's a few recipes that we like that we put in the Ketogenic Edge cookbook, which there's a link down in the description down below for the book if you want to support the channel and if you want to learn how to make nutrient-dense whole foods keto meals. You can check out the book down in the description. We've got some recipes that use chia seeds. I actually like them in certain recipes. I don't find myself eating them much anymore just because, I don't know, I've stripped it down to the essentials. Over years of refining my diet, I found what works. And I don't waste my time. I don't waste my energy. I don't waste my belly space on foods that I don't perceive as being the best bang for my buck and the best use of my time in preparation. All right, so I'd rather have ribeyes and bone marrow. I'd rather have some liver. I'd rather have foods like brain. Right? I'd rather have steaks, fatty cuts of meat, eggs, egg yolks, than chia seeds. But hey, a lot of people transitioning from other diets, they like these type of food. Anyways, chia, flax, a lot of these foods, even though they're not GMO, they're still heavily drenched in glyphosate. Totally drenched in glyphosate as a desiccant to dry them out before harvest. This destroys the topsoil. It destroys our gut microbiome. It opens up these little tight junctions in our gut and destroys our health. So the carnivore diet is not growing because a few ex-vegans who had a small following on YouTube decided to admit how shitty they felt on the nutrient-depleted diet. The carnivore diet is growing because people realize what works. People are sick of trying all this bullshit. People have been through the ringer, and it's like, I hope Goji Man finds health, right? Like, I wish this dude the best. I wish he wouldn't misrepresent me and make videos about me, basically bashing me and shitting on me, and then refuse to come on my stream or even respond to my emails, which I wrote him a kind email way before he made his "I'm a victim, poor me" video. Primal Edge Health is such a mean man. I need protected class status as a vegan. Before he made that video, I emailed the dude, told him come on my stream. Never responded with a video, totally misleading, totally misrepresented. So people are sick of this shit. People are sick of dudes like Dr. Greger telling them that gluten's not a problem. It's just a small portion of the population that might be sensitive to gluten, like they're sick of this. They're sick of these bobble-headed slinkies like Dr. Greger giving piss poor nutrition advice. Right? Yeah, I make some jokes about Dr. Greger's bobbly head, walking around his treadmill and being dorky, right? I make some jokes about that. You guys can act like the victim and just focus on that instead of focusing on all the real content we've been putting out for years now, right? I never bashed veganism until very recently when you guys went full steam ahead pushing against keto and carnivore diets, right? I made one Durian Rider spoof video like 3 years ago. Since then, nothing about veganism. But recently, you guys have been so freaked out by everybody leaving your movement and realizing how messed up this whole vegan YouTube community is, right? The mental illness, the physical illness, the obvious physical and mental health problems that people are dealing with. This is manifesting in the general populace, and they're following these Pied Pipers of stupidity like Joe Kahn, right? And Durian Rider and Freely the Banana Girl. They're following these people and they're wrecking their health. The reason a carnivore diet is popular now is because people need a simple way of going about it. You got Dr. Greger like, hey, it's so simple. You get complete protein from plants. It's like, that's a bad Greger impression. I need to hear Greger's voice again. We listened to Greger yesterday. Hilarious guy. I want to have a few glasses of wine with Dr. Greger. Great dude. I don't even drink wine, but I'll drink with Dr. Greger. But he was saying, it's really easy to get, plant foods is the best source of protein, You just have a little lysine one day, and then you have a little food that's lower in lysine another day. One food might have a little bit of proline in it, and you might have these different amino acids in this one. This one might have a little glutamine. You'll easily get a complete amino acid profile by just eating a little bit of chickpeas this day. Yeah, these people act like it's simple and easy, yet none of them have simple, straightforward advice, right? They talk about don't eat meat, meat bad, hashtag beard man bad, hashtag meat bad, hashtag bald man bad, hashtag bald by choice, hashtag still got fuzz. Sorry, vegans, not bald yet. Carnival, what's up, dude? I hope you guys are doing well with all the rain. Your wife told me that that you had a lot of mud out there. Mud sucks. I feel you. So they're not coming to a carnivore diet because Vegetable Police and Kasumi Chris, who are very sweet people, who are kind people, who are opening up their lives to other people and actually showing how they were terribly harmed by these diets. People are coming to these diets because they work. People are doing low carbohydrate approaches because they work. 5 years ago, it was total blasphemy to say maybe saturated fat isn't the demon out to slay your heart. Maybe cholesterol isn't going to kill you. Maybe we need cholesterol, right? So we've been fighting this battle here for like 5 years on this channel, talking to experts like Dominic D'Agostino, right? Talking to, far out there kooks like Jack Kruse, who might have some nuggets of good information in there. We've been exploring this stuff on these types of channels, exploring these things in the whole paleo or low carb, primal, whatever you want to call it, world for a long time. The functional medicine doctors out there, people like Grace Liu, the gut goddess, right? Who she doesn't even promote a low carbohydrate diet, but we've talked to her on this channel too. We've been talking about how to get real health, how to get real results for years now. And people are figuring out, oh yeah, you need animal foods for health. People are reading some of these classic texts now, like Weston A. Price's book, like Nutrition and Physical Degeneration by Weston Price, which is basically the book that got us into a low carb diet. I think it was almost 6 years ago now, when our daughter's teeth were having issues. She was getting dental caries after we were on a vegan diet for an extended period of time, pre-conception. Huge mistake. One of the biggest dietary mistakes I could have ever made. Sucked. Better than standard American diet at first. But shoot, I mean, when we were doing it, there weren't all these dweebs out there like, I don't know. Who else is out there on YouTube? There's just so many of these people pumping out this nonsense information. When we were doing it, it was a little bit more low-key. Like, I didn't really know that many vegans, but the ones that I started to get to know, they were a little sketchy. The health wasn't really there, but they were talking about it. All right, so I got to see this firsthand, just how sickly this community was, how nutrient depleted that diet made us. And it was just not, it wasn't for me. So we left it. That's why people are leaving it, though. Not because, oh, Vegetable Police made a video. They're leaving it because it doesn't work. I left the vegan diet because it was a shit diet. And it wrecked our health. And these people just say, oh, you just did it wrong. You just did it wrong. But they have no idea what we did. They make up their own story and their own narrative to justify why they're going to stay in their dogmatic, I must be a vegan, veganism. Vegan is the only hope. The guy's got on his shirt. I mean, it's sad to make your whole identity around this stuff. Right? I don't care if you're vegan, but going out there and saying that everyone's got to do it, this is the only way, it's bullshit. Okay? Do your thing, promote your diet. Don't attack my channel and then run and hide and pretend to play a victim. You built your whole channel on vegan response videos, and then here's what he says.
Chris and a handful of others. So these people quit the vegan diet because of underlying health issues and went carnivore, and it created a bit of a ripple in the water. Now here is the thing, all of these different carnivore dieters speak openly about vegans pushing lots of people their weight because of all of the many response videos vegans have been doing towards the likes of Sean Baker, Primal Edge Health, and also Frank Tufano. Primal Edge Health regularly mocks and thanks vegans on his channel for making these response videos as it pushes many towards his channel.
Yeah. But it's like, we don't even need your response videos. They come anyways, dude. They come anyways. And yes, I do. I'm not mocking veganism or veganism. I'm not mocking the vegans. I'm mocking the dorks who are making attack videos and saying that, oh, these diets obviously don't work. And they're sending people to where they can really get good information. They're sending people out there into the low carb community. They're sending people to keto diets. You'd be amazed at how many of our clients, how many people that come to our Keto and Carnivore Collective, our group coaching that we do every month, how many of these people are former vegans. Okay, so it's really interesting to see him pretending here that somehow, let's go further. Let's see what else he has to say.
And thanks vegans on his channel for making these response videos as it pushes many towards his channel. So therefore there is something that all vegans need to do for the next 12 months. And before I tell you what this is, I think there needs to be an amendment to the definition of veganism with immediate effect. Now, as we all know, the Vegan Society defines veganism as a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible.
It's on 1.25 speed, so it sounds normal. So he's saying, we need to stop talking about carnivore altogether. And if we just stop talking about carnivore, it's just going to die. So RIP carnivore. I'm not going to make any more response videos about carnivore diets, and it's just going to die off. It's just going to crawl away and die off. Cool. That's great. Good luck with that. That's not how it works, and you've got a completely twisted outlook on how this is actually happening and on what's really going on here. But, you're not going to really do this. You know that, right? You built your whole following making response videos to dudes like me and Sean Baker. Your most popular videos are videos responding to Vegetable Police. That's how you built your following. So, I mean, I don't really think you're being genuine, but I think it's hilarious that if we stop talking about it, they'll go away.
All forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. And the definition also continues and states, and by extension, promotes the development and use of animal-free alternatives for the benefit of humans, animals, and the environment. In dietary terms, it denotes the practice of dispensing with all products derived wholly or partly from animals. So I think with immediate effect, there needs to be an amendment to this definition. So it should now read, and a way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as possible and practical, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, and for any other purpose.
Of course, these people can't define any of these things like exploitation, practical. Like how is it? What level of deprivation of animal products to children is practical, right? What level of starvation of fat-soluble vitamins is practical?
Plus, and here is the kicker, veganism now seeks to avoid all mention of the term carnivore diet and those who advocate it. Now, the reason I am suggesting this is that if you are vegan, you will understand that the carnivore diet is growing off the back of veganism. And I personally acknowledge that I have helped the carnivore diet grow over the last few months by talking about it. Therefore,
yes. Just total delusion here. So it's not growing off the back of veganism. This is not in response to veganism. The vegan diet is just one of the pockets of people that become interested in the carnivore diet and in low carbohydrate diets. And a lot of people that do go to a carnivore diet, they end up doing more of just a low carbohydrate approach. They don't end up excluding all plant foods altogether. But many people jump right into the carnivore diet because it's easy, it's simple. The rules that a lot of people learn, and they're like, all right, well, like eat meat, drink water, salt your meat. That's like the simple, straightforward carnivore thing that a lot of people are promoting. And while it does get results for some people, that's obviously not what we teach here. We've been teaching a whole, unrefined, nutrient-dense foods diet for years here, using animal foods as the backbone of the diet. Plant foods being optional. Many people enjoy plant foods. There are plenty of plant foods that are great and fine for human health. Right? Plants aren't the devil. They aren't super bad. But they're not this panacea of health that people are making them out to be. But, dude, I'm sorry, but you're not growing the carnivore diet. You're leeching on the carnivore diet. You're leeching views. And many of the people that watch your video, they're it's the same crowd as like Vegan Gains videos, right? It's the same, like, couple thousand vegans on the internet. Remember, only 0.5% of the population in the US even identifies as vegans. And 84% of vegans and vegetarians, right? So 84% of vegans and vegetarians will go back to eating meat very, very soon. I think it's within 5 years, that Psychology Today article that we talked about a few streams ago. And that's vegetarians and vegans. The vegans are a way smaller portion of that, and vegans turn back way more often than vegetarians, right? Because at least with vegetarianism, you can have eggs. You can have cream. You can get some vitamin D, some vitamin K2, some vitamin A. Like, you can get some fat-soluble vitamins. Actually, vitamin A, probably not going to get too much there, but you can still get cholesterol. You can still get these things on a vegetarian diet. So most vegans are not going to stay vegan. So, I mean, the carnivore diet, yeah, it's one place where they can go, but it's just one little section of the low-carb community who've been talking about these issues about, industry corruption with in research, industry bias towards high carbohydrate diets, grain-based diets, the destruction of small family farms, of animal husbandry. So basically, his most popular video the last few weeks is just don't talk about carnivore diet and it's going to die, because we are so powerful as vegan YouTubers that if we don't talk about it, it'll just go away, which is just I think it's really funny.
Vegan YouTubers have a blanket ban on the term the carnivore diet, and no further response videos are made, there is a very high probability that the carnivore diet will contract massively over the next 6 months. So therefore, if you are vegan and you truly want to get rid of Frank Tufano, Sean Baker and all of the others, then simply stop talking about them. Stop making response videos and stop watching their videos, because if you are doing this, then you are simply helping them grow. So with immediate effect, I will never mention the carnivore diet again on this channel. I will not acknowledge any of the carnivore dieters, and there will never be any response videos towards the carnivore diet again on this channel.
Great. So he's done. All right, let's click off there. So you don't have to worry. You're never going to hear about Goji Man again, because he's done talking about people who eat meat or the carnivore diet. So maybe he'll still talk about the keto diet, right? Because when you actually look at the popularity trends, there's the last 5 years on the keto diet. How cool is that? So 2014 was when we started the channel, and then here's now massive spike. So we'll look at it past 12 months. So comparing, if you look at vegan diet, massive downtrend last 12 months. Oh, carnivore diet, uptrend. So again, just like Kissinger said, it's not a matter of what is true that counts, but a matter of what is perceived to be true. And that's what that dude's going by right there. As you can see, I definitely don't believe his narrative that he's pushing. I think it's kind of delusional. To me, it seems like these people are so freaked out. A lot of these vegan YouTubers are really freaked out because guys like Tim Sheaf are finally coming out and talking about how they've been not eating a vegan diet because it doesn't work. Many of these former vegans who have YouTube channels are coming out and discussing the negative effects that they've experienced from eating an all-plant diet and from removing animal foods from the diet. And many of these people end up on an all-meat diet to try to recover. So look, keto diet, interest over time, last 12 months. Keto diet and carnivore diet, massive spike in the summer, right? So the last 90 days, that's when people are looking at dieting, right? Summertime, kids are home, school's out, people are at the beach, people want that beach body. Vanity drives people to look into diet information around the summer. Also, you see a big spike around the new year. But this summer, the vegan trend, downtrending. while carnivore and keto uptrending. So, when you actually look at it, these people are freaked out because they realize that their movement is powerless and it's dying, that it's a fledgling little fad, right? That is a fledgling little fad that lots of people just come in and out of, ruin their health after a little bit on it, and then they ditch it. And then they need somewhere to go. They need some way to eat. They know that the standard American diet sucks, right? They understand that Monsanto, Bayer Monsanto now, right? Big pharma, big ag, one thing, one entity. They realize that this is not pushing health on us, that this isn't even, that we have a toxic culture, and part of our toxic culture in the West is our culture of food, right? So our actual animal husbandry has been under attack for the last 50 years, like full-on onslaught with the Green Revolution, right? The erecting of the factory farming system, which we've talked about and documented many times, and which is very well documented in Seeds of Destruction by F. William Engdahl. Great book, The Hidden Agenda of Genetic Manipulation. Now, this gets into the GMO revolution, which is the next step after the Green Revolution was the Gene Revolution. And these were funded by the same NGOs, by the same fake philanthropists, right? When you reach Bond villain level of misanthropy and of psychopathy, you call yourself a philanthropist on Wikipedia. Guys like Rockefeller, David Rockefeller. Who else? Who else gets to be called a philanthropist? George Soros, Bill Gates. These people get to be called philanthropists, right? John D. Rockefeller Sr. was not oil tycoon, right? He wasn't the oligarch that took over the entire energy sector of the economy and drove the war machine through the 20th century and then converted that through his NGO into a consolidating behemoth monster that ate up the entire agriculture sector and created global agribusiness. No, that's not John D. Rockefeller and the Rockefeller Foundation. That's philanthropy. Right? But people catch on. People are realizing this shit. Maybe people don't go as deep as that and they don't understand the roots of this stuff. And they haven't studied these big NGOs and how they work. They haven't studied history. That's why we talk about this stuff. That's why we got dudes like my buddy Jay Dyer who comes on the show every once in a while to talk about, in the episode, what was it called? The social engineering, the alchemy of the soy boy, social engineering the soy boy. Something like that. Recent stream with Jay Dyer. We talk about the history of these movements of using food for social control, for social engineering, for the manipulation of the masses, for the consolidation of power. It's not just about money. When you started the Federal Reserve, right? When you helped to start the Federal Reserve, when you basically print money, it doesn't matter how much money you've got. It's about power. It's about shell games and all these big scams that get run globally to consolidate power and to tax the serfs into oblivion. So now these big moneyed interests are so freaked out by all the people demanding. You know that 2018 there was more sales. I'm going to go close the window. It's creaking a bunch. I'll be right back. 2018 per capita meat sales in the United States of America, in the U.S. of A., meat sales were higher than any other year. More meat sold this summer than any previous summer. You know why? Because people are sick of your processed shit. People are sick of the fake foods. That's why people aren't buying Campbell's soup stocks. Look at Campbell's soup stock since July 2016. Nobody wants your trash anymore. Nobody wants this stuff. People are sick of grocery stores. They're going to farmers markets. People are going directly to small family farms, which have been under major attack over the last 50 years, right? As these big money oligarchs consolidated power using NGOs to fund the Green Revolution, to push these seeds, these high-yield seeds, and pesticides, and massive machines, right? Pushing these giant agricultural business models all around the world through force, many times, through backdoor coercion, through total corruption, and through psychopaths like Henry Kissinger and David Rockefeller and Bill Gates. These people that you're told are heroes are not heroes. These are the people who understand what it means to say something like it does not matter It's not a matter of what is true that counts, but a matter of what is perceived to be true. Because they believe that. They don't even believe that there is truth. They don't even believe there is a real truth. They believe in might makes right. So these are the people that took over and who took over the agriculture industry and created the factory farming system, and then blamed us for the factory farming system and say meat bad, global warming, the globe's heating up because those cows are farting and because you're having babies. All you evil people having babies, eating meat and eating meat and making families. You guys are destroying the planet. You're killing Gaia. Gaia's dying, guys. Gaia's so sad. So look at Campbell's soup, plummeting. Look at, all right, we got Campbell's. What are some of these other ones? Campbell's Soup Company. Campbell's Soup Company, which was really, I mean, but think of, remember Andy Warhol? The degenerate, disgusting slob Andy Warhol and his horrible art, modern art, this pop art crap that was actually pushed by these big NGOs. All right, that's why I'm not even going to get into that, but remember the picture of the Campbell's soup thing? Look at Kraft Heinz. Just plummeting this year.
Estimates, so did Kellogg, which also cut its full-year profit forecast.
Well, Kellogg didn't do as bad as the rest. But Campbell's is screwed. Wow. Kraft is screwed. No one wants your shit. Nobody wants your stupid ketchup, Kraft. Nobody wants your Kraft Singles cheese. We want real artisan foods. We want stuff from farmers markets. We want to raise our own animals. And that's what people are going for. And how awesome is that? These people are freaked out. They're so freaked out that they're pushing this. Every few years you see these meat tax, carbon tax things really get ramped up. And you see the rhetoric and all the fear and the propaganda rising, right? And that's what television's there for. That's what news organizations like CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, right? All these channels you see on TV, that's what they're there for. Right? That's why guys like Ted Turner said that he wants to reduce the population of the planet by 90 to 95%. To 250 to 300 million people. Because Ted Turner believes that he's a god and that he gets to decide how many people should be on this planet. These sick people are freaked out that people are denying and pushing away their shit foods. Your processed, soylent shit. People don't care about your stupid Beyond Burger. Bill Gates is putting billions of dollars getting pumped into companies like Beyond Meat, Memphis Meats, to try to make fake meat, to try to sell it to dummies in cities, right? To brainwash millennials who've never touched an animal in their life, except for maybe a kitty cat, who was sadly maybe one of their only friends as they grew up in the social engineered schools, right? We go to these schools, we get picked on and bullied in schools, we go home, all we've got for friends are our animals, right? And then we watch television. And so these poor millennials who grew up in this broken system, totally traumatized by media and mass media events, right? Remember when 9/11 happened? Remember how freaked out everyone was? Remember Columbine? And then all these school shootings popping up all over the place. All this just ritual traumatization of children to create this scared little frail society of people broken and busted up who will accept bullshit answers. Like, ooh, look, there's a fake burger that bleeds. Ooh. Look at the Beyond Burger. It's amazing. Screw your Beyond Burger. Give me that big block that Jegs is selling right there. Look, a vegan-friendly Beyond Burger oozing a beetroot juice-based meaty hues stocked at Tesco. No one's going to buy this shit. This is what's so funny. These are going to fail because people are pushing towards real foods again. That's where it's going. So these people are trying to figure out what to do. Well, let's just demonize meat more. Let's get the World Health Organization to say that meat's causing cancer. Let's have Oxford make some ridiculous claims. Unscientific report completely discounts Monsanto's role in climatic and ecological damage. Right? So we've got Oxford University constantly shilling for the oligarchs. Harvard University. Bill Gates, the Rockefeller Foundation, pushing this stuff. So here's an interesting article. Now, screw your Beyond Burger. No one's going to eat that shit. No one's going to buy it. We're not buying it. All right, let's see. So The Guardian, are Gates and Rockefeller using their influence to set agenda in poor states? Hey, you're about 50 years late, buddy. Remember National Security State Memorandum 200? Study identifies Bill and Melinda Gates and Rockefeller foundations among rich donors that are close to government and may be skewing priorities. Maybe. Oh, they may be. Yeah, oh, yeah. Gates and Rockefeller, dudes like Rockefeller, Soros, and Gates. Wow, whoa, that's amazing. No way. Big moneyed interests who run international banking can actually influence politics? Whoa. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So here you go. Ultra-rich philanthropists and their foundations have an increasing influence on decision making and are setting the global health and agriculture agenda in developing countries, according to a major study. These people come in and spam other people's YouTube channels on here. Get out of here, dorks. All right. Using their immense wealth and influence with political and scientific elites, organizations like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, and others are promoting solutions to global problems. They're promoting solutions to global problems that they made up. Just like when you read the Club of Rome, the first global revolution, where they basically say, we came up with the idea that we'll use climate change to sell people on global governance systems to consolidate power and to rebuild humanity in the image that we want to build it in. Right? And you've got the Changing Images of Man white paper openly discussing how you can change people's image of themselves and their views of what they are in the world and what's happening in the world. Using their immense wealth and influence. There was a report by the Independent Global Policy Reform, which monitors the work of UN bodies and global policy making. Well, the UN is just there so that these oligarchs can push policies through it. The WHO, the UN, these were funded and started through grants from these oligarchs. Rockefeller donated the land that the UN building sits on. Rockefeller started the whole modern medical system. And the whole green revolution and gene revolution was bankrolled by the same foundations, by the same money that the Standard Oil monopoly used as a shell game to continue exerting power in order to search for this utopia that these people have been busting nuts on in their sleep for the last 100 years. I mean, guys like H.G. Wells openly wrote about it. If you read H.G. Wells' nonfiction books, or even better, if you don't want to read, if you're from my generation, if you're a millennial and you can't read more than a whole paragraph because you have no attention span, you listen to Jay Dyer's talks on H.G. Wells' books, right? Not to have Jay on come, maybe he can come talk about H.G. Wells' books and how these tie in here again. But you read these nonfiction works by H.G. Wells, he openly talks about building this perfect, stable society, the utopia, with assets of more than $360 billion. The world's 27 largest foundations give roughly $15 billion annually to charitable causes. 19 of the 27 are American, and many are now looking to extend their influence to poorer countries. All right, so I mean, these are all things that people have known for a long time, and what's being pushed now through the media that these same people run? Meat taxes, carbon taxes. Every time you fart, you got to pay taxes. These people are pushing for smart cities, right? Bill Gates looking to build the smart city grid, where you live in a coffin-sized apartment where everything is controlled by central AI and where all resources are totally consolidated and controlled by these oligarchs, so that they can depopulate most of the rural areas and rewild it and get you off of animal husbandry and have you dependent on the soylent slop. So then these people are pushing stuff through HuffPost. A meat tax could get America to ditch bacon and burgers. And every day we're seeing more of this stuff. You look at the history of the Rockefeller Foundation, they openly brag about starting the whole molecular biology field. Right? And this is actually demonstrated really well and documented really well in F. William Engdahl's Seeds of Destruction. How they started the Green Revolution They started the green revolution and then the gene revolution. They started this whole pesticide-based big agriculture system that requires people to take out massive loans from the IMF and the World Bank. They started this. And now these same people are blaming the factory farming on us and saying, yeah, you're making the earth hot. Look at all these natural disasters that we're constantly telling you about on television. Look how scary the world is because of you people, because you won't stop eating meat and having babies. You won't stop eating meat and making families. Join us in the smart cities. We will give you rations of all your food. You can have meat on your birthday. On your birthday, you can have one Beyond Burger. These same people are the ones who started the factory farming system. Now they want to remove the cow middleman and feed you the soylent slop directly. You can even exchange your Bitcoin for it in the smart city, dude. Beyond Gold and Rice, the Rockefeller Foundation's long-term agenda behind genetically modified food. There's a decent article right here from 2009. This website's gone downhill over the years, but this is a good article. Let's see. We've got Imaginaries of Development, the Rockefeller Foundation, and Rice Research. The philanthropic money pouring into Africa from the Gates Foundation is being used to usher in two revolutions of African agriculture in tandem, one based on the classical Asian and Latin American Green Revolution, and the other based on GM technology. Oh, great! You're going to turn Africa into Argentina and India. It's really worked out great for them, right? GMO's really worked out well for Argentina. Come on. After all, the profit makers in both scenarios are one and the same and have the same objective in mind, namely the establishment of a dominant agricultural model based on agro-exports, free trade. Ooh, that sounds great. Free? I like free. I want to trade. Like Pokemon cards? Cool. Free trade. They use these words. They load these up with meaning. And then dummies push it forward. And the use of chemical-intensive, large-scale monocultures and genetically modified organisms. The African Green Revolution discourses defines rural poverty in terms of insufficient productivity. See, this is what they're saying. When the UN tells you we're going to stop poverty, they're telling you we are going to put you to work for Monsanto. We're going to stop poverty. You got to work for Bayer and Pharmaceutical Monsanto, right? We're going to give you GMOs. We're going to give you loans, so you'll be in debt forever. And we'll sell you this big agriculture equipment that you need to process these foods. And you could start making Lunchables and fruit roll-ups for us. You could start making Fritos. You can grow GMO corn and spray glyphosate everywhere. And spread autism and destroy people's gut microbiome. So they want to integrate the peasant and small producers into the global economy. They want to remove the peasantry's ability to actually feed themselves. And peasants, they don't mean like, this is not a pejorative. Peasants mean people who live in rural areas and aren't in the big cities, that aren't importing all their foods and aren't involved in global exports. Another interesting one, Philanthropy and World Health, the Rockefeller Foundation, and the League of Nations Health Organization. Because the Rockefeller Foundation started the League of Nations Health Organization, was heavily involved in the creation of the UN and the World Health Organization. Rockefeller was also really in with guys like Kellogg, Rockefeller Foundation, and the International Health Agenda, and the Lancet. Although no longer the only philanthropic institution equated with global health, the Rockefeller Foundation has marked the field like no other organization. Incorporated a century ago this month, the RF established health cooperation as a legitimate intergovernmental and private agency endeavor, and shaped the principles, practices, and key institutions of the international health field. The Rockefeller Foundation was established in 1913 by Standard Oil magnate John D. Rockefeller to, quote, promote the well-being of mankind throughout the world. Throughout the world. Promote well-being. Through creating the pharmaceutical corporations that we see today, through creating big pharma and big ag, is going to save the world. Here's a good one. This is actually a very good article you get. It's on Sci-Hub. If you do a search, you'll find it. Backstage, the relationship between the Rockefeller Foundation and the World Health Organization from the 40s to the 60s. How the Rockefeller Foundation shaped WHO policy. WHO now telling us meat's bad. Meat bad. Meat's bad. How do we know meat's bad? Well, according to Dr. Greger yesterday, it's just, all the scientists believe it. The organization, the World Health Organization said so. I can't even say why, but if you don't believe it, you're basically a flat earther. You're an invalid. Your opinion doesn't matter. These are people that are freaked out, though. Because instead of buying into the bullshit, more people are leaving the bullshit. More people are saying, hey, we want to be involved in our food supply. We want to be involved in growing food. We're not satisfied sitting at home watching television all day, eating Lunchables and freaking Fruit Loops. We don't want to be Fruit Loops pushing a vegan diet online. We see all these Fruit Loops online pushing vegan diets. We see Durian Rider. We see these mentally ill people lashing out at the world, finding an ideology to latch onto, think they're going to fix the world by spreading the processed food agenda, the plant-based, enlightened agenda. People don't care anymore for this nonsense. People are going to farmers markets. People are making relationships with their local farmers. People are leaving the cities. People are leaving the cities, and they're moving into rural areas. And they're realizing that, first of all, you're never going to grow your own vegan food. You're never going to grow your own food and feed your family on a vegan diet. But you know what? If you just have a little bit of land and use it right, you can have goats, chickens, cows, and grow all of your family's food by just having them eat the grass around and turn that grass into edible protein, fat-soluble vitamins, and all the nourishing foods that we need. These foods that we need come from animals. And you know it. And even vegans know it. That's why Beyond Burgers, where'd the Beyond Burger go? I can't find it. So stuff like the Beyond Burger, they got to make it bleed with beetroot juice. They say it's got oozing beetroot juice-based meaty hue. When you look at the actual ingredients of the Beyond Burger, it's canola oil. It's trash. It's basically, it's just crap. It's processed foods. It's processed oil. It's trash. They want to feed you cellulose. They want to turn us into invalids, into beta human beings who can't think for ourselves, who can't feed ourselves, who have no idea what real food is or how to nourish ourselves, who have no idea, no basis in reality, no connection to the truth, no connection to God, no connection to what's real and what's good. People just believing it's all relative, bro. Darwinism, dude. Social Darwinism. Might makes right, man. Bill Gates, that dude's fucking rad, dude. That guy's got hella money. That guy worked so hard to make his money. Dude, David Rockefeller was my hero, bro. That guy had so much Skrilla. He made a hella Skrilla, dude. They're trying to push us on these diets where we need all these freaking supplements just to not die. Whereas if you could just eat eggs and meat, and hey, eat your vegetables as you want, but eat your freaking eggs and your meat. Have raw milk. Make some homemade yogurt. You're going to feel better and you're going to be alive. And you're not going to have to take a bunch of supplements. And obviously, dairy is not for everybody, but it's like, hey, guess what? I ate on my carnivorous, mostly keto diet. First time in like a whole year that I'm not in ketosis. The last couple days, I had yogurt. A little bit more carbs. Probably still in ketosis, but I had some honey too. Ooh. But those are animal foods. They're animal foods. So I'm still a carnivore, I guess. If I had honey and yogurt. I had honey and yogurt yesterday and today. Still animal foods. But these are the foods we need, right? It's not about latching onto some dogma of like, yeah, only eat meat. That's all you can eat forever. That's the way and the truth, dude. No, it's just eat what you can live on. So you're not dependent on these degenerates who are degenerating your culture and destroying the world. Renowned cancer scientist was paid by a chemical firm for 20 years. Oh, Sir Richard Dahl from Oxford University was being paid by Monsanto. Wrote to a... I mean, come on. Come on. How a sausage and bacon tax could save hundreds of thousands of lives every year. These people are genuinely freaked out. You know why? Because look what's happening. We're not buying your bullshit, Kraft. We're not buying your shit soup, Campbell's. We don't care how many stupid pop culture paintings Andy Warhol sold while he destroyed art in the modern art movement, which was funded by the same foundations. The modern art movement was funded by the same foundations that are degenerating your food supply and degenerating your culture through media. We're not buying Campbell's soup. We don't care about Andy Warhol's paintings, his so-called paintings. We're not buying Kraft. We want real foods. And we're going to see these continue to plummet because people are making an exodus from this nonsense. And people are demanding meats. People are asking for broth ingredients. People want to make bone broth. People want liver. Right? Finally, people are starting to eat liver now. I'm not the only weirdo on the internet talking about liver. Even there's dudes like Frank Tofano talking about liver now. All these other people talking about eating real foods. You got Svirij Gattis talking about eating raw meat and stuff, promoting that. Like, people are going towards these things that were taboo before. Extreme. Oh, you're going to eat raw liver? Oh, that's terrible. Oh, it's terrible. Well, now it's mainstream. Going mainstream, right? I mean, mainstream's still, retarded. But what you see on television, what you're told on television, you have to understand that the people that are telling you this believe that it is not a matter of what is true that counts, but a matter of what is perceived to be true. As Henry Kissinger, it is not a matter of what is true that counts, but a matter of what is perceived to be true. That's what they believe. Henry Kissinger. I remember this video. This was an interesting one back in the day. I don't wonder these guys, I haven't seen them in years. You guys remember when there was an actual anti-war movement? Yeah. Before it got totally derailed.
That's good.
I wrote a thesis on
Population should be the. Please, a picture, just a quick picture, just me and you. But also, just hold on.
This dude's still alive, Henry Kissinger. This guy's responsible for the deaths of millions of human beings. Right? Still alive. Still pushing policy. Still has the ear of presidents. He was selected by Rockefeller early in his life and was a champion of the Rockefeller Foundation's causes, using the State Department in the U.S., leveraging the power of the military and the U.S. government to push on behalf of these big money oligarchs to push the agenda. I think he actually married a Rockefeller Foundation woman.
Can we just get it really quickly? I just want to know, when you said depopulation should be the interest of the world, you said depopulation should be the highest interest of U.S. foreign policy.
and I've cited a lot from you. Can I get a quick picture with you, with my friend?
What did you mean by depopulation should be the priority of U.S. foreign policy for the third world? What did you mean by that, Mr. Kissinger? That's good.
I wrote a thesis on 300 years of Russian-Chinese relations and cited you so much. Thank you so much, Doctor.
It takes balls to say that to Kissinger's face. I mean, this guy's killed millions of people. So shout out to Luke. I mean, that was ballsy. Oh, he chases him down, calls him out.
It went straight. Exhausting work.
Got that right.
Hey, good to see you. Just a simple question. What did you mean by depopulation should have been the priority of U.S. foreign policy against the third world? Shame me. I'm not wanted for mass murder in different countries, unlike you, sir. How does it feel? All the millions, all the dictatorships, all the overthrows.
You will be held accountable for them one way or another.
I guess. All right. Good job.
Good.
Kissinger. Here's Harvard. Mourning the death of David Rockefeller, who passed away a couple years ago. philanthropist David Rockefeller, business leader, ostentatious benefactor to Harvard. Business leader was generous benefactor to Harvard, headed overseers. David Rockefeller, a prominent member of a storied family, a global leader in business and philanthropy, and a longtime Harvard University benefactor and overseer. All right, so Harvard was majorly involved in the pushing of the GMO revolution and the green revolution as well. In the coining the term agribusiness, they changed global agriculture, not global agriculture, rather local agriculture. Local agriculture was changed into global agribusiness through David Rockefeller, Henry Kissinger, Monsanto, Cargill, the State Department, the UN. And they're still pushing this. CEO, Chase Manhattan Bank. David Rockefeller set up the first bank in China and praised the Maoist revolution. He thought it was just amazing. It was a great social experiment and worked so well. The genocide of millions of people, the one-child policy. These are the people who set up the bank in China. These are the people who are looking at China, who looked at the Soviet Union as a great experiment. And these people want to feed us Soylent slop and tell us that it's going to save the planet. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. So the World Health Organization telling us meat bad. World Health Organization always been the mouthpiece of the big foundations. But they call themselves World Health Organization. You can call yourself the American Heart Association. But these are basically just extensions of big business. You know, the World Health Organization, the American Heart Association, those are just the fist of the oligarchs. So it's not even the fist, it's just the open hand. Just kind of herding people around, herding money around. So what we need to do is continue to eat real food, to promote real local food, organic agriculture, animal husbandry. And the reason these people are pissed off about low carb, carnivore, is because their whole house of cards falls apart when people realize that plants aren't the panacea of health that we thought they were. That in fact plants aren't even necessary for health. Now I'm not saying everybody should do carnivore, right? I'm not saying everybody should pull plants from the diet. But just the very fact that you can, do that shows you that the whole propaganda machine, it's built on a house of cards. And the more people realize this, the more people question it, and the more people start moving towards eating real foods, more moving towards like carnivore diets, low carbohydrate, ketogenic diets, the more these people are going to have to push back. So you don't need to be out there with all your friends and family, hey, go carnivore. But it's like, you know, meat's not bad, right? I mean, make your family some steaks. Keep demanding really good food. Don't buy Kraft singles. No one's buying that shit anymore. Don't buy the Kraft singles. Go for real artisan cheese, right? Good aged, locally made cheeses. People are doing this. People are catching on, and it's awesome. So fortunately for us, fortunately for the world, fortunately for humanity, people really aren't as stupid as the television would have you think, right? The television wants you to think that being a father is just about being like Homer Simpson or like Family Guy, right? Or what was that show? The Bundy family back in the day. What was that show? Married with Children. All right, well, the father's always a deadbeat, fat degenerate, just wants to sit on the couch and watch TV and drink a beer at the end of the day because he's an idiot. The mother's high-strung, depressed, around the house while the children go and get brainwashed in the public indoctrination centers. That's what the television tells you. The people are just these degenerates who are just meant to bounce off the walls like animals. You're just a beast. You're given this bestial philosophy. You're told that you're just a shrew that through sheer will became man. But then you have no will now. You just got to become a part of this global system that's going to push you into the smart cities, feed you Soylent slop for Bitcoin at your through a Like you guys seen THX 1138? 1138, right? THX. It was George Lucas's first film. It was actually a decent sci-fi movie. He made it before he made those lame-ass Star Wars movies. How gay is Star Wars? Star Wars is so lame. So that film was really interesting, right? Because all breeding was controlled. Their sexuality was completely nulled out through pharmaceutical drugs. These people aren't making these films because they're like, they're artistic and they could see the future. These people, they're in these circles. These people hang out with these big money folks. And dudes like H.G. Wells actually were members of the Royal Society, were raised. H.G. Wells was mentored and raised by Huxley, by T.H. Huxley. And then he went out and propagandized this whole thing for years. And then Huxley's son, Aldous Huxley, and then his other son, Julian Huxley, who helped start UNESCO, helped start the UN education system to try to educate the world. You had these same people pushing this degeneracy on us, telling you Brave New World is inevitable, that it's progress, that it's the final revolution. That's what Huxley said, that it's the final revolution. And a big part of this final revolution is feeding us consolidated food supply, disconnecting you from really being able to feed yourself, disconnecting you from the natural world, disconnecting you from real aesthetics and real beauty, from real truth, from real life, from real love, right? They turned love into fucking. They turned food into entertainment. And they turned our will towards just seeking perpetual masturbatory entertainment. But it takes a lot of energy to do that because people really are inherently not dumb, not bad. We're not little degenerate retards running around just waiting to be filled up with nonsense. People have to be broken down to that state through propaganda, through trauma, through degeneracy. Someone said THX 1138 was a documentary. So anyway, what I was saying about that is their sexuality was suppressed through drugs. They were given fake food through centralized controlled AI. All breeding was controlled. It's a crazy movie. You guys check that out. THX 1138. I mean, it's kind of like Blade Runner, the Blade Runner reboot. All these films. The same themes. The same, pushing that same degenerated future on us, where humanity is just totally broken, where people are just so dehumanized that they don't even know what's real anymore. But it takes a lot of energy to push all this on us. It takes a constant barrage of propaganda to get you freaked out. To get you freaked out enough to take these people's nonsense. To take these people's suggestion that, we got to consolidate the food supply. We got to stop eating meat. Meat bad. World Health Organization says that meat's bad, so you got to stop eating it. Let's tax it. We'll tax it to save you. We're going to tax meat to save the planet. We're going to tax your breath to save you. This is nonsense. People are catching on, though. So real food, artisan foods, it's on the rise. All right, a big part of the economy that's going to be building over the next few years is going to be locally produced organic foods, animal agriculture, small family farms, and artisan products. And you already see it. You see the farmers markets are exploding everywhere. People are getting their shit from the farmers markets instead of buying fake food from the supermarket. The chat's in total revolt right now. I don't even know what anyone's talking about in here. I don't know what's going on in the chat. You guys don't care what I have to say. Do your own thing in the chat. All right. So anyways, guys, how awesome is this? That real foods are making a comeback. That craft foods is failing. And that Harvard and Oxford are being shown to be the shills that they've always been. And our authorities are crumbling like burning paper tigers. These fake authority figures that have told us all that they are so enlightened, that they know what's good. but they know what's great. Someone keeps talking about high meat. Dude, I know what high meat is. Not everyone needs to eat high meat. It's awesome, but not everyone needs to eat it. But this is good that people, push it, man. You want to talk about high meat? Do it. Make a channel. Show people how to make high meat. I have a jar of fermented liver I'm waiting to try. It was October 30th. I put it in the fridge. That's awesome, Vic. Vic says high meat. Vic's claiming that high meats will help you to digest raw dairy. I know there's a lot of people that are not really able to digest dairy, especially even raw dairy. A lot of people can't digest it, but someone in the chat saying that if you eat that high meat, you might be able to have the dairy. So what's cool is in Stephenson's book, he talks a little bit about the high meat too. Stephenson's book's pretty good. You guys should check out Stephenson's book. Like Not by Bread Alone is one name. It's also The Fat of the Land. This is like the most recent reprint, I think. Not by Bread Alone. It's the same book as Fat of the Land. They just called it something different to sell more copies. No, I didn't make a video about liver. It's like, look, there's different people promoting different things out there. People promoting the high meat, that's cool. I haven't eaten high meat like extensively, right? This is not something that I'm super well versed on, but yeah, you guys are in the high meat. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's cool. High meat, for those of you who don't know, people are fermenting meat. So people know about fermented cod liver oil, right? You take cod livers. This is a classic recipe. People spend a lot of money on fermented cod liver oil. Well, high meat, you can also ferment foods like liver. A lot of people swear by it. That dude Augenis Vonderplanitz was really into it. So I know that I talked to Spreeridge and Milk Jar, I think, is also into that stuff. There's a few people out there on the fringes of the low carb / carnivore movement. They're talking about the high meat, and the people that get into high meat get real into it. So be careful, guys. You might get addicted to that high meat. It's gonna get you high. But you can ferment foods like you can ferment liver. Cod liver oil, fermented cod liver oil. People spend a lot of money on that. I haven't made my own fermented cod liver oil, but I've made my own fermented beef liver. All right. Freya's saying for people with GI problems, high meat's the way. That's cool. Fermented rotten meat, says Vic. Vic's all about it. Right on, man. Well, maybe you should come on the show sometime. You can come talk about high meat. You're passionate about it. Vic, you want to send me an email? You should come on sometime, dude. Send me an email, Vic. Tristan@primaledgehealth.com. Come on the show. Talk about high meat, man. I want to get someone to come on and talk about the high meat. But anyways, guys, it's not over. You got this whole global system that's being erected, and we're being traumatized into accepting it. And a lot of the dummies and most people, most people are readily accepting this stuff. But enough people are understanding that like real food is important, and that is one of the major things that could bring this whole thing down. This whole processed food crap agenda, nonsense crap. Just pronounced Sferia. Yeah, I know. People don't know that. When they hear someone say Sferia, they don't know that. They hear Sferige or Sferige. I'm not trying to diss him by saying his name wrong. I know it's Sferia. But us dumbass Americans, we can't read those words. Come on. There's like 3 whole syllables in that. We can just watch TV. That's all we Americans know how to. No, I'm kidding. This is what they want you to think, though. This is what these people that are programming us into degeneracy want us to believe, that we're just so dumb, that we don't know anything, that the experts they're going to handle it all. Harvard University is going to tell us what's true and what's real and what's good. But people are catching on. People are moving forward with their lives. People are leaving the cities. They're getting cows and they're feeding their family with those cows. There are people here that I know. Someone in the chat right now. What's it? Carnival left his old life as a vegan at one time, even living in a commune, a vegan like commune situation. I gotta get out there. I don't have my car right now. I haven't had a car for like 3 weeks, so I can't come interview you. But we'll do that soon with Carnival. But he left the cities, and he's living off the land with goats and chickens and dogs. So the carnivore diet is not dying. And it wasn't rising because of the 0.5% of the population that are vegan, where 85% plus of them will not be vegan really soon. That's delusion. It's the popularity of low carb ketogenic diets, carnivore diets are exploding because people want to live. People want to really feel what it's like to not be constantly in chronic pain, right? To have chronic allergies, asthma. People want life. And they're leaving the big cities. Many of them. I'm not saying you got to leave the cities, but if you do live in the cities, these real good foods, these artisan foods are going to be very popular. So you're going to see these more, artisanal foods, artisanal cheeses, meats, grass-fed meat. All right, like if you looked up grass-fed meat, if you look at the Google Trends for grass-fed meat, should we do that before we wrap it up? Check out the Google Trends for grass-fed meat. All right, look, carnivore going up last 12 months, vegan going down. Keto, last 12 months going up, last 5 years. Last 5 years, look at keto. Boom. Vegan. Let's see what it's vegan in the last 5 years. Vegan diet. Probably pretty steady. Ooh, little spike there. June 2017. Pretty stable. Slight uptrend, perhaps. Even though vegan diets get constant media exposure, constant positive media, whereas carnivore, low-carb diets are always being attacked. And veganism, even with all this propaganda pushing the Beyond Burger and billionaire philanthropists are going to save the world by promoting veganism. Richard Branson, Bill Gates are going to save the world. Still not going up. Last 5 years, just the term carnivore, right? Had nothing to do with diet before, but just carnivore going up. So now let's look at organic, steadily going up last 11 years, since 2004. Look at Taylor Swift, Kim Kardashian, World Cup, football, American football. This is what they want you to think is what reality is about. Google is your new television. This people don't understand. The internet, Google, YouTube, these are the new television. This is why they have to be controlled like media is. This is why you saw monetization. I mean, the monetization really destroyed the quality content on YouTube. For the most part, monetization has wrecked YouTube. But yeah, let's look up. What were we going to look up again, guys? What were we going to look at? What trend were we going to look at? I forget. We were going to look up something. It was an organic food, farmer's market stuff. Anybody remember in the chat what I was going to look up? I got distracted by all these awesome stats. Look at keto, vegan. Look at vegan. 5 years. Keto last 5 years. So this is what the vegans should really be attacking. And the carnivore diet was just like for a while, it was like the tip of the needle pushing consciousness towards realizing that we don't really need all this crap, fake vegetable foods. What are we going to look up? Farmers markets. Farmers market. Search term, farmers market. Past 12 months. Nice big hump and drop. So in the summer, got kind of popular. Interesting. I wonder if that was college students. I wonder who's getting into the farmers markets this year. But let's look at 2004 to present, farmers market on the trends. That's weird. Why does it go up at the same time every year? June. Yeah, it's just in the summer it jumps up. Boom, boom, boom. Just constant upswing. Wow. There you go. Because this is what people want. How about craft foods? Just took a huge shit from 2004 down. Craft foods, farmers market. This is what we need to be demanding. Real food. So artisan foods, homemade foods, foods that are not processed, foods that are not junk food. This is what's going to become more and more popular. People are going to be leaving the degeneracy and seeking reality. Unfortunately, there are many stupid little cults out there to herd people into, to distract them from reality and from the truth. You know, I mean, people will worship all kinds of nonsense. People will worship health. They'll make an idol out of a diet. But learning how to feed ourselves, learning how to support our families is going to become more important. You're going to see a lot of people trying to learn how to actually live off the land and leave the nonsense. Because we don't want to be in smart cities. We don't want to live in THX 1138. We don't want Blade Runner 2049. We're going to look up grass-fed meat. That's what it was. But look at Farmer's Market. I love that. Boom, 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 boom. Huge. Look at organic. And then Kraft Foods dying. Thanks a lot for the person in the chat. There's at least one person was paying attention in the chat. At least one person. Look at the stupid... Start with an example. Here's what we want you to believe is important. Sports. Sports ball. Degenerate celebrities who mutilate themselves and are so depressed and so fucked up that we could program you to be depressed and fucked up by just focusing on them and harnessing your energy into their lives and projecting everything onto them. All the beautiful celebrities, they're all going vegan. Beyonce. Klaus from Plant-Based News. Beyonce is going vegan. Beyonce. Grass. Fed. Grass-fed hyphenated. I wonder if it'll be different. Grass-fed hyphenated or unhyphenated. Let's see. 2004 to present. So it's been stable for the last 24, or last year. 2004 to present. Hey, that's pretty stable. It seems like the curve might be a slight uptrend. Let's see what happens when you pull out the hyphen, if that changes it. I'm not sure how. We'll see how that works. Oh, grass-fed. Oh, yeah, look at that. Boom. Grass-fed. Where'd organic go? Look at organic. Relatively stable, organic. Grass-fed going up, 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 up. Meat. Past 12 months, meat. Stable. Grass-fed meat. Pretty stable over the last 12 months. Slight uptrend. Well, we'll see. How about liver? Past 12 months, liver. Stable. This is the first time I've ever looked at stupid-ass Google Trends, too. When I put out content, it's just like, this is what I want to put out. I'm not looking for clicks. You start looking for clicks, that's when you put out shit content. And that's why all these vegans put out shit content, because they're all looking at Google Trends all day. That's all they care about, is clicks. All right, so let's see. Over time, past 5 years for liver. Steady rise. All the junk food people don't want. So that's what's up, guys. People are leaving the processed crap foods, the degenerate foods, and they're going for foods that can regenerate. Veganism on the downtrend in the last 12 months. How sad. Veganism on the downtrend. Big NGOs are pissed. Bill Gates must not be happy. Richard Branson must be a little freaked out. Putting billions of dollars into giving you lab-grown meat and fake meat and the Beyond Burger, Memphis meats. But no one wants that shit. We want liver. You can't grow me bone marrow in a lab. You can't grow me a liver in a lab. And I wouldn't eat your shit anyways. I don't want your cell-cultured meat from Harvard University. I don't want Oxford scientists to make food for me. I want real food. Someone said search marrow. All right, let's look up marrow. No one eats marrow. It's going to take a while. But I've been talking about it a lot lately, so maybe other people will start to talk about it and catch on. Marrow. No one looks up marrow. Oh, what is this? 2018. Let's look at the last. Marrow is on an uptrend. Damn it. You guys don't eat marrow. You're going to make it expensive. You already made bones more expensive. All you people demanding bones where you used to not even care about it. Price of liver's gone up. So we we got somebody who somebody in our current keto and carnivore collective said that they've got a local butcher and they went and asked him for liver, and he said, you know what, we don't have any, and when it comes in it goes so fast. He said people used to not care about it. We used to not sell any of it. It would sit here and we would take it home and eat it for free. But now people are demanding it. So many people are coming in, they're telling us, when you get liver, tell me, sell me some liver. People are begging for it. So it's happening, guys. It's happening. So let's keep pushing. Keep pushing. Don't let yourself get discouraged by this constant propaganda. They're going to try to tax your meat. They're going to try to make it more expensive. But if you get directly from the farmers, and if you're actually raising your own animals, you won't be taxed. So raise your own animals. Eat the real foods. Get the marrow. Get the heart. Get the liver. Steaks over cakes. And big money is pissed off and they're freaked out. And these little dweebs who pushing veganism are also pretty scared. Hey, that's cool. They're not downvoting my video today. The other day, they downvoted a shitload. Look at all these people in the chat. I got a bunch of people watching. You know, in the past, I always get annoyed when people are like, hey, thumbs up. You guys, please like the video, you guys. Can you like my video? Will you like it, please? Will you like my video? Will you share it and subscribe? I always hate that. So it always annoys me. But it actually does help when you guys like it. So freaking click the like. It's easy. If you enjoy it, click the damn like. I'll start saying it now. I'll make fun of myself for saying it too. Stuart throws the thumbs up. So yeah, guys, throw the thumbs up there. If you like what you see, share it. Spread the word, guys. Get real food. Steaks over cakes. Yeah, I should make that a t-shirt. We got the Eat Meat Make Families t-shirts. That's a great one. Not for everybody, obviously. Vegans don't like that t-shirt. All right, guys. Well, I'm about to bounce. Real foods are making a comeback. Fake foods will always fail. People complaining in the chat about my thumbnails. Get the fuck out of here. Unsubscribe if you don't like my thumbnails, you freaking dweebs. Get out of here. Smash the unsubscribe button if you got a problem with anything I say or do. If you don't like my thumbnails, you can eat a fat cake. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We got Eat Me Make Family shirts. They're in the. There's a link down in the description. If you're interested in the next Keto and Carnivore Collective, I'll do the steaks over cakes shirt. Let me write that down. Jessica, hey, I'll write that down by telling my wife. Steaks over cake shirts. Okay. Yeah, just remember that so I don't forget. Yeah, it's like, you know, for the vegans watching, you know, make sure to comment angrily so I can ban you. If you have a problem with my thumbnails, you make sure to complain, and then you can also just maybe get banned. All right, everybody. What else? Yeah. The next Keto and Carnivore Collective starting on December 9th. We do it every month now. We were doing it every other month, but we got a lot of demand for it. We get a lot of private coaching requests. I mean, there's floods of people leaving the vegan movement, floods of people leaving the standard American diet, hordes of people just trying to learn how to actually eat a real diet and enjoy life. So yeah, if you guys want to do the Keto and Carnivore Collective, I actually like it much more than the private coaching. With private coaching, we meet via Skype, and that's fine. We still do that, but I've decreased the amount of Skype meetings I do because I can handle a lot more clients in the Keto and Carnivore Collective and give you more content and more time. So we get to actually do 2 live interactive voice chats per week on the Keto and Carnivore Collective, and it costs way less than private coaching. So I'm able to do it for less. You get more content. We've got meal prep lessons each week. There's actually a lot that goes into it. You get copies of our books, and then the next book will be John McIntyre. I don't care if you don't like. This guy's complaining because he doesn't like my thumbs. You're not on my team, dude. My team is my wife and I, and we put out content that we like. And I don't spend all my day making thumbnails. So if you don't like it, bounce. So anyways, Keto and Carnivore Collective, we're able to give you more time, more energy, and it's way cheaper. So it's real fun. There's a link down in the bio, in the description rather. Bio's on Instagram, which I never even use anymore. Links in the description down below. Eat Me, Make Family shirts available on the website. We've also got the book if you're interested in the Keto and Carnivore Collective. The next one is December 9th, and that's going to be 1 month. It'll be December 9th through, I think it's like January 6th. It's 4 weeks. It's really fun. We use a Discord server, and because I always get clients where I want to hook people up with each other. Not like that, you gross guys. Where I want to actually, there's people who have experiences where they're similar, where they can actually talk to each other and enjoy learning from each other's triumphs, from each other's failures. So it's really fun. We get to do that in the group setting, and we use a Discord server, and I get to interact with you more that way. So it's really fun. People are you guys really want Rainbow Around the Moon? You don't want that. That's like my signature closer now. People demand it. I thought it was if you really want to piss off your wife, sing Rainbow Around the Moon to her. You guys really want it. All right. You can have it. You get what you ask for. You little carnies out there want Rainbow Around the Moon. For the guy that's complaining about my thumbs, I'm gonna use the Rainbow Around the Moon thumbnail from now on. It's just gonna be Rainbow Around the Moon for every one of my videos. That'll be my new thumbnail. There's a rainbow around the moon. But this is the song to end all songs, right? This is from. There's a better version of it. Let's see. Rainbow Around the Moon. This is a vegan-friendly song. For the vegans that are watching, you don't have to turn it off. This is a vegan-friendly song. And this song will heal all of your issues, internally, externally. If you just get together with your friends and you sing Rainbow Around the Moon, and drop some acid, listen to some Grateful Dead, and sing Rainbow Around the Moon. We can all heal. I have bugs all over me. There must be a window open. All right, guys. Keto and Carnivore Collective next month starts in a few weeks. You can sign up down below. I think it's we're like 2.5 weeks out, so that'll be fun. Eat Me, Make Families t-shirts. Great conversation starter. And here's everybody's favorite vegan-friendly song to close the day. Peace out, guys. Take back your culture. Take back your health. Take back your life. You're far more than what you eat. I'll see you next time.